all of you guys having little bit experience on SAP. So it is easy for us to explain, and it is easy for you to understand what we are explaining in GRC. So everyone knows the full form of GRC. Uh, you guys knows?
Yeah, governance risk compliance.
Yeah. So the name itself tells a lot about the GRC. Governance means it's controlling. Risk is something that every organization should try to keep as low as possible, and compliance is nothing but just like an auditing. So it's controlling, also helping for managing the risk, and also helping for the audit. So its name tells a lot of things: governance, risk, and compliance. So currently, we will see what are the versions of GRC. Versions of GRC currently in the market, it's 12.0 with service pack 8. So currently in the market, 12.0 is using. Previously, it is 10, 10.1 like that. So we will see what are the difference between all these uh, versions of GRC, means what are the advanced things are available, because in every organization 12.0 currently is not using. So might be some organization using 10, some organization using 10.1, and some organization using 12. So we should know what are the difference between all these versions, and how it is helpful if we upgrade our version, or if we move to our next level. So what will be the difference in GRC? So we will see difference between the different version. So the motto of this course is that we will try to make you understand the basic concept of GRC. So because in every organization you might see in GRC, and if you they provided you, then easily you can work on it after someone guides you. But you should know what are the why we are using that part, and what is the use of that part. So that should only we will get to know when your basic concepts are clear. So we will try to mostly focus on the concepts. What are the concepts that are in GRC, and those, if those are understandable to you, then you are easily able to work, and you can apply your logic, and you can do a lot of things in GRC. Lot of modification we can do in the GRC with the our logic and our as per our the business requirement. So mm after the version, we are going to see there are different modules also in GRC. So we are going to cover what is access control first. Everyone heard about access control. You guys heard about anything about access control in GRC?
No, I have not. I have not
Okay,
worked much on SAP, so I am not sure.
okay, fine. So in 95% of organization mostly using access controls. Access control is nothing but it is used to restrict, it is used to provide, it is used to make compliant all the access related parts to the business users. So that is what something access control. So in access control, there are also four sub modules that helpful for the organization to maintain the access, maintain the roles, maintain the uh, what we say emergency or some emergency access also, and also log perspective, audit perspective. So access control is helpful in all perspective for access related things, and to maintain your system risk free, and to detect that risk. So all these things comes under the access controls. So we are going to cover the whole sub four parts of the access control in this course. So also we are going to cover the implementation of this access control, how it will, how we will implement access control in GRC. So in that part, uh, we are going to see implementation. After that, how to activate access control in GRC. Okay, so in that access control, after that access control, our you guys working, some guys are working on SAP. So GRC mostly work with the other systems. So when other systems are connected to the GRC, then GRC is helpful for your organization. Single GRC system is not that much useful. So the purpose of uh, GRC is to connect all other system to the GRC, and they can monitor, they can control all other system access related activities via GRC only. So first basic part is that RFC connection means how to connect GRC system to other systems and other system to the GRC system, vice versa. So we are going to cover what are the what is RFC users. After that, how to create RFC connection. The most basic thing is RFC users and RFC connection. Without this, GRC will not work because we are not able to connect the other system to the GRC and GRC to the other system. Vice versa, we need to connect. Why we need to connect that? To data flow. Means ECC system, you guys aware about might be ECC system in SAP. So ECC system are connected to the GRC. So data will flow from ECC to GRC and GRC to ECC. So like that. So vice versa connection we need to set up, and that is something basic part which is mandatory. And without that, GRC will not work, or any part of access control will not work. You have any doubt, guys? Till now? No?
No, nothing from my side.
Okay, fine. There are four sub-modules in access control. One is emergency access management. That is nothing but called as firefighter. So firefighter is mostly useful in critical access provisioning, and that log, whatever the user uses that critical access, it's for the limited period of time, and we should know, our organization should know what that critical access and what is the activity has user has performed, so that all the records, all the logs are available in the GRC. So with the help of that EAM, we are able to identify and we are able to provide critical access to the users. So in that emergency access management, it is EAM, it is called as emergency access management. We are going to see configuration of firefighter 2 in GRC. EAM is also called as firefighter. Mostly in layman term, it is called as FF, firefighter. So to use that firefighter, our system should be connected with the ECC parts, ECC systems, and vice versa. So after that only you guys are able to control that activities with the help of GRC. So we are going to see configuration part. After that, what is firefighter? After that, what is controller? After that, what is owners? How to maintain that owner in GRC? So every activity, whatever we are performing in GRC, they have approvers in the system. So suppose someone need EM access, so at that time firefighter access. So security team from your organization will raise that request, and once they raise that request, it will goes to the approver path. So once approves that request, then only user able to access firefighter. So it is totally workflow. So you will guys get to understand in MSMP workflow. This MSMP workflow concept will help us to understand all these four sub modules and the workflow. All the GRC are covering in MSMP workflow. So you guys will easily understand after the MSMP workflow understanding what is EM and how it is working and all these things. So after that, how to assign firefighter to firefighter ID. After that, we will understand what is region code in EAM. After that, we will see how to monitor the emergency access. After that, we will see how to review the log reports. Currently it is difficult for you to understand, guys. I understand, but it is this is the only course that content we are going to cover. So side by side, after once we started, it will be easy for you to understand all these things. We will cover all the basic part first, and after that we will able to see all these things.
So in log reports, you will be teaching us like how to see the firefighter logs, owners assigned, and all those things, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
even related to the audit log or something like that. I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
really don't know what auditors does, but sometimes they ask a lot of things
Yeah,
in the log.
definitely. Log report is, I will tell you the difference between some audit and log report. Log report is nothing but the whatever the user has used in ECC that going to track, or any whatever the system GRC is connected. All the things are going to be tracked in GRC. So that is nothing but a log, whatever the user has used, what are the activity they have performed. So users, many users sometimes critical access is nothing but critical transaction code, that is F110. F110 is for the making the payment in SAP. So at that time it is little critical access, so it should not be accessible to all. So how we will get to know user that used or not? So via log report we will get to know that. So I will tell you all these things, how the log is going to configure and how to check that log report. And also if sometimes what will happen, whatever the user has performed is not going to, we are not able to see in GRC. So at that time, how to deal with such situation, how to, which reports we need to run, which job we need to run, and after that, how it is going to see in GRC. We are going to cover all these things. Any doubt in EAM?
Thank you. Thank you.
Now come to the next part. This is very vast. EM is very vast topic. So we are going to cover actually when we are going to implement it. Uh, After that, we are going to see access risk analysis. It is also called ARA. Access risk analysis. So it is something whatever the user having access in the SAP system. So GRC will do the analysis in the background with the help of jobs, and they will show you is there any risk for that business or not. So how GRC will get to know that risk? So there is called concept called rule set. Okay? Rule set. It is something SAP has provided by default. It is also called global rule set. In that, there is a lot of combination of transaction codes is there. So I will give you one example to understand what is exactly excess risk analysis. Suppose one user having access to create purchase order and same user having access to release purchase order or approve, we can say. So it is something critical, that is ME21N and ME29N transaction code. So one user is having the ME21N and other the same user having ME29N. So what is the risk in that? So if we understand that, if the person having same both the same access, then any person can create any purchase order and they can approve it. So automatically it will go to another workflow and the payment will happen. So it is something a risk for the business. So to understand such risk, SAP has provided a standard uh, rule set in which there are a lot of combination of transaction code and their actions. So based on that, system will get to know which user having which risk in the system. So what is rule set? We are going to see how to change the rule set. Every organization having different requirements. So based on their requirements, we need to change the rule set as well. So we will see how to change the rule set. So after the rule set, we should know basic thing is that what is risk, what is risk and what is risk ID in the GRC. So after that, we are going to see what is function. I'm telling you, these are the very basic things. Rule set, inside the rule set, we have risk IDs, and inside the risk IDs, we have functions. And inside the functions, we have actions and permissions. So we are going to cover all these basic things. So it will be easy for you to understand what is risk and how it is coming in the in your organization. So we are going to see what is action and permission. So these three topics will cover, these three basic subtopics are going to cover your rule set part. So based on that three topics, you will understand what is exactly the rule set and how we are going to make changes in the rule set. After that, we are going to see configuration and maintaining the rule set. After that, we are going to see how to analyze and manage risk. How to analyze and manage risk. After that, we are going to see how to maintain critical access in access risk analysis. So we are going to see role level simulation. Uh, this simulation part is nothing but to understand how GRC is identifying the risk within the roles and how GRC is going to identifying risk within the users. So the role level simulation, role level, and another is there is role level simulation. These are the two things. So what is role and role level? Difference between role level and role level simulation is that role level means whatever the existing roles are available in your systems, within that is there any risk or not that GRC will identify. And the role level simulation means if suppose you are something going to add transaction code in a role, so whether that new transaction code is going to create any risk for the business in that role or not, that GRC is going to identify. The same logic will applicable for user level and user level simulation. What is user level and user level simulation that we were going to cover. After that, we are going to see what are the jobs are required to run and make activate access risk analysis. After that, for every risk, not for every risk, but there are some mitigation parts are available in GRC. So mitigation, what is exactly the mitigation? Mitigation is nothing but is a known risk to the business that business can't avoid. So to make it, actually it is known risk to the our business. So to mitigate that, we are creating some control IDs GRC. So that control IDs, with the help of that IDs, we mitigate that risk for the specific period of time for specific users in your GRC system. So some risks are can't avoidable in GRC, and business need to accept that. And to after accepting that risk, we need to mitigate specific period of time. So at that time we will use mitigation. So what is mitigation? What is mitigation control? After that, how to create mitigation control. After that, how to assign owner to mitigation control IDs. So we are going to cover all these things in access risk analysis. After that, third sub module we are going to see is that access request management. So it is also called ARM. This is the most regularly and day-to-day life in every organization used module, access request management. With the help of this access request management, you can automate your access provisioning in all other connected system to the GRC with the help of ARM. So you can automate all these things, access provisioning, user lock, unlock. Also, you can automate password reset part via GRC as well. So role removal, role addition to the users, all the parts are going to cover in access request management, and you are automating that. And there is, after submitting one request, you guys will get some one number. So based on that number, you are going to see how that request is going to flow, what it, who has submitted. You can see audit log of that request as well. So it will help you to keep all these things in a track and in compliant way. Who is raising that request, which access provided at what date, what time, is there any risk at that time or not? So you will get all the idea in access request management. So in the access request management, we are going to see what is business rule framework, that is nothing but called BRF. All guys heard about BRF. BRF is nothing but the some decision tables in that. Based on that decision tables, it is throwing the output as per our requirement. As every organization have different requirement of access provisioning, there are different workflows. So we are going to see that part with the help of BRF. What is the decision table? After that, we are going to see in ARM what is MSMP workflow. MSMP, it is also called multi-stage, multi-path. So it is a workflow. You are automating the access request management. ARM is nothing but you are maintaining your workflow in MSMP, and it is working as per your how workflow you have maintained. It is working like that only. So based on your customization, that request will flow and user will get access with the help of MSMP workflow. So what is MSMP workflow? How to configure and maintain MSMP workflow. After that, how to create process ID. How to create process ID in MSMP workflow. That also we are going to see. How to raise access request. How to check the status of your access request. Also, we are going to see customization in MSMP workflow. Also, we are going to see user specific and provisioning settings. In short, we can see configuration settings. Also, we are going to see how to make it work access request. There are a lot of configuration settings we need to cover. So we can say end user personalization, although also we can say what are the provisioning settings, all the things, lot of things are there. So we are going to cover in configuration setting part. I will not write it down all the things over here. In the configuration setting, we will do all the background part. After that, how to connect new system to GRC for ARM. That is also something basic. If you understand how to connect and how it works, then easily you guys able to create new. You can create new system in GRC and make it configuration for all these things. So this is something we are going to cover in access request management. The fourth submodule is BRM. We can say it is business rule framework. Sorry, it is business role management. It's called. I explain you regarding BRM. Sorry for that. Its fourth module is BRM. It's business role management. Fourth module is business role management. Business role. So we are going to see what is business role. Also, we are going to see what is difference between ECC roles. In ECC, we have also roles, what we say master role, derived role, single role, composite role. So what is the difference between those roles and what is the difference between BRM? So that will help you to understand why BRM is used in GRC. Also, we are going to see configuration of role management. Also, we are going to see role specific configuration. How to assign owners. And approvers. How to create single role master roles in GRC via GRC. How to import the roles. Sometimes what will happen in most of the organization, as per my experience, I have seen about 95% of organization using their ECC roles in GRC. They are not creating a business role in GRC. So whatever the roles are available in your ECC systems in SAPs, how to import that role in GRC. So that is something import role in GRC. Yeah, these are the four modules we are going to cover under access control. In access control, there are four modules, that is access request management. Second is business role management. Third is emergency access management. And the last one is access risk analysis. These are the four modules we are going to cover. We are going to see how it is how to implement that, how it is useful in day-to-day life, what is the benefit of that if we done that, what are the customization in that. So all these topics we are going to cover in our this course. So guys, you have any doubt till now?
This workflow email modification. Uh,
Workflow email modification means you want to get notification when request is raised, like that, correct?
yeah, yeah. I want
That
to modify those emails.
yeah, definitely. We are going to cover in ARM that part while the configuration.
Okay.
In that configuration and maintain MSMP workflow, in this part only we are going to see how to create that template. That template is going to create by AC61 transaction codes, and how
Okay.
that templates are going to use in your workflow, and which path, if you suppose a request is submitted, once request is submitted, automatically user will get access, user will get notification that your request has been raised, saying like that one template is will be there based on your requirement. So that template and email configuration are we are going to see in MSMP workflow configuration
Okay.
part.
And the backup. Uh, uh, I think the backup of what we call it as. Uh, I'm, I'm forgetting the word.
It's fine.
Sorry. The way we modify. I think it comes under audit controls, right? We usually
Might be
take
some
some backup.
table
Yeah.
specific data.
No, no, not the table specific, which contains all the rule set, I think. Yeah, sorry. The rule set
Yeah, rules.
backup and upload. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
We can download that rule set as well. So backup is nothing but not sure exactly what you are trying to ask, but the rule set part you can download. So
Okay, okay.
automatically you will get a backup for suppose someone has done the changes wrongly, and
Hmm.
you want whatever the previous things you have. So we can take a backup means we can download that rule set first, and after that. We are going to make changes, and also there is a option is that normally user will not do the changes directly in production in rule set. It is not allowed in any organization. So in production you have your safe data over there. First you have done your changes in development, after that you can move to the quality, and after that it's after the validation you will move to the production. So
Hmm.
there are lengthy process, so your data will be safe. Even it is something wrongly happen in development, you can append that data in development. So whatever the data in production, it will sync with the development, like
Okay.
that.
And one more thing I'm looking for is user access management configuration settings or the process if possible.
Yeah, in ARM configuration part, it is very vast part. It is not going to cover easily in 1 hour or 1 or 2 hours. So, in configuration part of access request management, we are going to see all these things. Like, I will give one example. That is after the request has been approved, if user want password or not, or a user will automatically will send password to the users. So that part also we are going to cover in access request management. There are a lot of things, lot of subtopics are available in configuration part. So
Hmm.
don't worry, we are going to cover each and each topic in that.
Because
But
every year I'll have, as per the audit requirement, I'll have to do the UAR, user access
sorry.
requests. There is something called as UAR, which we have to do perform every year
Okay,
as per the
user.
audit
Okay,
request.
yeah. User
So
access review. Yeah,
yeah,
understand.
correct, correct.
Yeah,
that one.
user access review also we are going to see if required. Definitely, it is something that activity sometimes it is actually done by manually in most of the organization. So user access review is nothing but there is something additional access to the user or there is any risk for the user that need to be reviewed or that can be keep or not that going to take decision by the owner. So it is it is something lengthy process for that UAR, but it is easy one. As per the
Okay.
audit, as you mentioned, there is a requirement. There are a lot of concern from the audit every year that why that user having access for this transaction code, even if he is not from that department like that. So at that time, that UAR activity help us to monitor and keep the access with respect to their department. We are
I
going to
think,
see that as
yeah,
well.
these are the things I need to learn actually. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's all from my side.
uh, Anyone having any other doubts you think this part is not going to cover or other part is not going to cover, you know that part and I have not mentioned in here, so you can ask me that.